Welcome to the Entrepreneurial CPA Show. We take a deep dive in knowledge that's needed to break free of the box and become the world-changing entrepreneur we know you want to be. We're here with the skills you need, theoretical and the practical. A little yin, little yang, as we like to say. You got to get both sides covered for you. I'm Garrett, and I'm here with Dr. Sean, straight out of New Jersey, to give you the knowledge you need. But before we get started today, I want to give a big shout out to an amazing conference taking place this summer. I hope you'll come and check it out. July 11th and 12th in New York City will be the Accounting and Finance Show. This will be the largest free accounting and finance show with the technology, idea, and skills needed to break free of the box, as we like to say here. We'll include a link in this video to register for the show, so check it out. While you're there, you can see me and Dr. Sean and myself doing some sessions and doing a keynote Monday night as well. And as a special bonus, we're going to be filming some live episodes of the Entrepreneurial CPA Show. So check it out. Maybe you can get on the show. Now for today's show, we're going to talk about the need for high-powered training in your firm. It's all about the right train at the right time versus random training at the wrong time. So Dr. Sean, king of the theoretical.
All right, Garrett. Thank you so much for that, Garrett. And really the whole idea of high-powered training or of high value training is really an area that I'm very interested in, right? Because just over the last 18 months or so, I basically moved, from actually working in industry to working in higher ed, right? So really the whole value offering and the whole sort of underlying push towards actually higher value in training and in education, I think focuses really on a handful of, forces. Right? One, you have to make sure to leverage all of the tools out there, right? Whether it's a institutional option like a enterprise option or a more market-oriented choice out there, there are a whole bunch of options out there, right? To leverage to do the training and education online. Online is where higher ed and training is going. So it's important to really be on that train. And then two, the other sort of top point to emphasize is to really, to make sure that the information that is being taught is actually going to help, right? That it's actually going to have some actual value, right? Because there's always some baseline knowledge that has to be covered in any course or in any training. But then, adding those options or having access to those options to help tailor that training more towards what you need at your firm or on a individual basis is that next step to really move to a high value offering. And Garrett, I think you have some options out there for us, actually.
I do, because, Dr. Sean, as you hit the nail on the head, it's how do we transition ourselves and be more successful going forward? We talk about all the time on the show the changes taking place, the advisory shift, the compliance shift going away, the need to be more entrepreneurial. And it's interesting in this profession, we've always had this thing of we need 40 hours of CPE every year. We don't put a ton of thought into what CPE should we take, whether it's our first year as a staff accountant or we're a 30-plus year partner. It's, I need these 40 hours in. It'll get done. And, as a partner of a firm, you're probably worried, are my people trained with the skills they need to do what they do today and for what's coming? And then as a person, as a staff accountant, or as a senior, as a manager in the firm, you're probably wondering, am I getting the right training that I need at the right time? Can I have access to the stuff we've already learned as a firm, the stuff we're going to learn going forward? What are those pieces in place? So you want to make that shift. If you want to grow your firm, if you want to grow yourself, if you want to be successful, it takes a plan and a thought process behind it. Like we say, it's the right training at the right time, not the random training whenever. So there's some good software out there. One of the ones we really like is called Prolera. It's a learning management software and a CPE tracker bundled together. So it allows you as a firm to kind of have that university approach, like Dr. Sean was talking about, higher education. Hey, we know at all these levels of the firm what courses they're taking at what times, and it's pushing their skills on the right trajectory we want. Because the other part, when we look at the learning side in CPA firms, it really comes down to three buckets. You've got the technical knowledge, audit, GAAP, tax side. You've got the success skills, sometimes they call it the soft skills. All those other pieces, the entrepreneurial skills, which are going to be much more important going forward. Those really rise to the forefront. Then you've got the software skills. Software's always been big, whether it's the tax software or the new software coming that leverages AI and these other pieces of the puzzle. So you've got to kind of mix those skills in there. Make sure your people are getting the right mix of skills at the age level and their level in the firm, because it changes over time. A staff accountant needs to learn a different mix of those skills than a partner. So that's what it's about. You want your firm to be successful. You want to make this transition to advisory. You got to make sure your people are trained with the right skills, the right knowledge they need. Otherwise, you and your people are going to be unprepared for what's coming. There's nothing worse than that. So think about that as tax season ends in 2018. Getting on board, putting a plan together for your firm, for your people to get the right training at the right time. Build a university, build a knowledge base in your firm to capture the knowledge you have to make sure your people are as successful as possible going forward. So Dr. Sean, speaking of the university side, what are some things you think about when you're designing the coursework for your students to make sure they're getting the right training when they need it?
Sure. So probably, and for all the courses that I've built, right, at all of the different institutions, colleges, and universities that I've taught at, right, I always focus on one: is everybody on the same page, right? Is everyone actually starting off at that same level? Because it's impossible to have a actual conversation or a productive educational process if you have people coming in at all random levels. So it's important to always have that sort of baseline, and then after that, introduce the sort of overall topic, right? And it could be AI, it could be on healthcare laws, it could be anything, right? Introduce that overall topic and the impact that it's having on the overall sort of business, business, I think, marketplace, right? The overall impact. And then 3, sort of hone in on the action steps or the action items or the insights that these overall trends are going to have on assurance, audit, tax, or advisory service, right? To overall sort of build that bridge, right? Have the baseline knowledge, analyze the impact happening on a broad level, and then after that's done, sort of hone in on those, industry-oriented and action-oriented insights that'll actually help people, 1, learn, 2, understand, and then 3, go out there and actually use it.
That is perfect, Dr. Sean, because that's what it's about. It's about thinking about proactively where we're going to go. We talk a lot about that here on the show, of those different skills you need and being able to have. We talk about vision and execution, and that really comes into the learning side as well. Of, do we have a vision and a plan for the learning? Or are we just going about it willy-nilly? If you want to be an expert in cryptocurrency, you should take a certain number of courses this year and next year. If you want to be a salt expert, you should take something a little bit different. But at the end of the day, we're accountants, we're CPAs, we've got 40 hours of required learning. Don't just wait till December and then cram in 40 hours of junk because you need to get it in. Take that time. We talk all the time, invest in yourself. You have to get these hours, make it productive, useful knowledge to improve your skill set. So I want to thank everybody with that for tuning in today. We hope we made you realize and think about the importance of the right training at the right time at your firm and in your life. If you have questions on where to get started, please reach out to Dr. Sean or myself, LinkedIn, Twitter. We're here to help. Keep the questions going. And if you want to keep the learning going for yourself, and I'm talking to you out there, we talked about that today, having a plan, know what's going on, being accountable is part of it. Check out our entrepreneurial CPA groups. We help you become the entrepreneur you deserve to be. More details are on our website, and there'll be a link below. While you're watching here, don't forget to click that button up top to subscribe to our YouTube channel to get the updates when we post new videos. As always, we challenge you today to take action to change the world and invest in yourself.